Hi, thank you for joining my channel and watching my mini vlog for my trip from Florence, Italy to Mykonos, Greece. So this is also another one of my trips. I didn't intend to be a vlog, so I am missing some photos and videos, and I can't remember entirely the order of which I did a few of these things, but I'll just start off with us walking to Ponte Vecchio. Ponte Vecchio is Florence, Italy's oldest bridge, one of the oldest bridges in the world. It is iconic for being one of the oldest bridges used in battle. It was built in 1345, so during medieval times, and it's still standing strong and stable. Currently, they have just a bunch of vendors there, jewelry shops, restaurants, so it is more like a market, and it does get pretty crowded during the day. The roads are pretty small in Italy, so you'll see a lot of Fiats and Vespas. It gets pretty crowded, so the best option really is to walk everywhere. Everything is walking distance. It is just about up to 30 minutes to get there. It does take a little endurance, and no wonder everyone there looks like a model. The men, the women, it's probably because of all that walking they do and all those good ingredients in their food. And all of the art and history, all of the architecture is prominent to see. It's all basically situated in the same area. Did space out our excursions in days, so we just basically kept walking towards the same direction. Each day we wanted to see something new. One of the highlighted places we visited was Piazza della Signoria, and I'm pretty sure I butchered that, so I'm sorry if I did. But it is a prominent public square where you can see an open-air museum of a lot of the replicas of some of the statues, but also you'll find the original statues like the Fountain of Neptune. And then somewhere along the way towards Piazza del Mercato Nuovo, you'll see the Fontana del Porcellino, the Il Porcellino, or the famous boar that is said to bring you good luck and ensure your return to Florence if you rub its snout. Just a tradition there. So my son did give it a few euros and tried it on his own. He made his wish, and there was actually a small line for this. And in one of the city's most central squares, Piazza della Repubblica, it's such good vibes during the day. You can hear them playing live music. There are a lot of people walking around. There are vendors. And then I brought my kids to see the famous carousel. I would like to say that there are some scammers in this area. Some vendors like to put down paintings on like heavily trafficked locations so that people can accidentally step on them, and then they'll demand 4 euros from you. And then some vendors will give the women like a rose or the kids a toy and pretend it's a gift, and later start to demand you pay them. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because if I didn't research these things, I would have gotten scammed a few times. Aside from that, Italy is just so beautiful. Florence is said to be an extension of the Earth's heart chakra, and I can kind of believe that. It's such a good atmosphere. Kind of reminds me of like a highly sophisticated San Francisco. And one of my favorite eye-catching memorials that we saw was the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore in the Piazza del Duomo, or as the locals call it, the Duomo. And it has peak architecture. It is just so beautiful. So many small details. My favorite part was on the large door, and it took the architecture about 140 years to build it. I just want to say these stonemasons are amazing. And on another day, we wanted to explore Florence at night and also just try one of the restaurants for dinner. And I will say I cannot decide whether the atmosphere is better during the day or at night, because it is just as beautiful at night. I highly recommend going there, especially during Christmas time. They have so many beautiful decorations. The vibes are just so fun, and everyone's in good spirits there. And if you go to Florence, you must try the famous Venci's, where they have the chocolate wall. It has some of the best gelato, and I'm proud to say that this is where my kid's first time is trying gelato. Now for the best lasagna in Florence, Italy, please go to Pensavo Peggio's. It is so delicious with all natural ingredients, and the owners are so pleasant. They were so friendly to me and helpful because I was with my kids. And one of the owners working at the bar actually offered me a free complimentary shot of limoncello and took one with me. It was such good vibes, and they told some stories about the upcoming of their business. So please go and support them if you do visit Florence. And while in Florence, you must try an affogato. So this is where I tried my first affogato, which is basically an espresso with gelato. They made it so well. We also tried some freshly baked pastries from there, and my kids also had gelato. We were here closer to my son's birthday, which is also my birthday, and we were doing a lot of, adult things, seeing museums, and so we did go to the carousel again, and I also took them to Legoland. My son is at the age where he did appreciate a lot of the unique masonry, the stone masonry and paintings, the art, and it was a great learning experience for him. An amazing coincidence is that we arrived in Florence on a Sunday, the first Sunday of the month, which is Domenica al Museo. So the museums were actually free. So we went to Galleria dell'Accademia di Firenze, which is where the original Michelangelo statue of David is in. So usually it is about €20 per person, and I just felt so lucky that we all got to see it on a free Sunday. And so after a week and a few days, we headed over to Piraeus in Greece, and we took a long plane ride there, a long bus ride at night. It got a little hectic and it was storming, but we met our Airbnb host and she brought us to the location, which made it a lot easier, and she was a sweet lady. She also had great reviews. I chose this little waterfront town because taking a ferry from the mainlands of Greece is the only way to get to the islands. So it was just a little rest stop before we headed off to Mykonos. I will say when I first arrived, I was so intimidated by the language there, their alphabet. But with some good research, I managed. So I chose this town for convenience. I also like to make sure there are grocery stores around, being a mom, and it was right by the waterfront, so it was so easy to get to the ferry. Now, if you haven't visited a travel destination off-season, I highly recommend you try it. We went during the winter time where it's still warm, so it was off-season, but it was still beautiful, and usually the beaches are crowded with sunbeds. You can barely walk through them, and they cost you about €20 per sunbed, which you have to purchase to go on the beach. And so luckily we were there off season, so the beaches were free. We were able to enjoy the white sand, clear crystal blue water with the most convenience. And so that's all we really did there. We just explored the town and went to the beaches. This was more of like a rest stop before our next trip, which was towards Egypt. And so we just enjoyed the beautiful aesthetic of Mykonos. And this is where I worked. This was my view. I'm so grateful and had such a great time. And thank you for joining me. See you next time.